Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? I know you're probably getting sick of seeing my face today since I was just in my kitchen cooking some sweet corn, talking about the farmer's market, but I definitely wanted to get on here. I'm going to put my phone down for a second if it'll work. So first and foremost, let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know what you're up to this beautiful Tuesday. I am here in sunny Northwest Illinois where it was a beautiful 78 degrees today. So why are we here? So I'm here because a friend of mine, my friend Brittany, that I had the privilege of meeting back in February at one of our amazing events. So today we were chatting and, we were talking, hey, why are you at Prove It? What are you doing? What's your story? And it was funny because I was like, yeah, I've told my story, but I don't know that I've really told my story because I kind of have a 3-part story. So I figured I would kind of tell part 1 tonight and then tell the rest of my story on another live, right? So that way it's a good mini series. Stay tuned next week for what happens next with Renee. So first and foremost, I want to thank everybody for popping on. Thank you for your time. It's funny because you guys all have options when scrolling. Who should we stop and listen to, right? So if you're listening to my story tonight, this story is more for myself to share from the inside depths of my soul of kind of who's Renee Kearney? What is she all about? Where did she get started? Why is she so optimistic and crazy a little bit? So I am 43 years young. I'm from New York, born in the Bronx. And my parents, Harvey and Carol, were an amazing couple that got married back in 73. My father was a Greek Jew who married my Irish Catholic mother. And for those of you that recall the 70s, if you dated interfaith, that was a lot. But then getting married interfaith, wow, that was just, you couldn't do it. So I always like to say, my parents started off on a kind of a shaky foundation. But the one thing I will tell you that's most aspirational for me, and I'm so blessed to have this in my marriage, is their love for each other. They never cared. And I think because they never cared and all they cared about was each other and the love they had, and they kind of, the noise from the outside kind of spilled in, but they never let it kind of break their bond. And so that, I guess, has made me who I am today, right? Because if you know me, I have zero fear of feedback. I have zero fear of getting on a live and making, cracked chicken and having it spill all over. So their foundation in love and their foundation in not listening to the noise has really helped me as a person. So the other thing that I wanted to share is that both my parents are actually with the Lord. So Harvey got cancer. He was sick for lots of years. He didn't know why. But I will tell you, when he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, even then he was optimistic. The man had the most amazing air about him. He always was like, nah, I'll beat cancer. It ain't going to beat me. And unfortunately it did. But he really, what I'm most impressed by my father is that he never let it take away who he was. So I swore I wasn't going to cry. And I believe I have his gift. I never let things take away my vision or my focus. So he went, in 2004, and hold on, this is harder than I thought. So anyway, my father passed in 2004 at the age of 52. And I promised the whole world that I would never live another day not in gratitude for being alive and being able to be healthy. So I then moved to Florida with Kevin, who was my boyfriend at the time. And I did leave behind my mom, who was a widow. And we came to Florida. And, it was funny because when I came to Florida, I was working for PacSun. I ran Central Florida. And Kevin and I thought we would live this huge fun life, and party it up and travel to Miami and do kinds of fun things. And guess what happened? I got pregnant. So I got pregnant by my boyfriend at 29 years young. So now I had to fly home and tell my widow mother, who was a disaster, that her best friend and love of her life was, no longer with us. And what was crazy is I remember her saying, but Renee, you don't even know how to make macaroni and cheese. Like, how are you going to have a baby? So I was like, because I'm optimistic like my dad, I'm like, I'm going to be fine. So 2 months later, my mom actually moved to Florida. She moved down here in 2005 with me and Kevin. And I remember her specifically saying, listen, you're going to have your mom now to help you. So for 9 years, my mom lived with us. And, I remember there was a moment in time when I was a mom. I had 2 young kids, Connor and Juliana. Connor actually came on my 30th birthday. Kevin and I did get married the next month, just in case inquiring minds were trying to figure it out. And then Juliana was conceived a year later on our honeymoon in Cancun. So there's the cat's out of the bag, okay? I had a baby out of wedlock. Bad me, right? But he's awesome, and he'll be 14. But I remember my mom, when she came to live with me, she said, honey, I want to make sure that I'm here to support you because I know that your career is so important to you. And it's funny because I always was a career person. And for those of you that know me on this call, I thought my worthiness was my career because how I grew up, my parents always chased, I'm not going to say money because it's not the right word. They always chased a feather. They always wanted more. We moved a lot as kids. So I swore in my early days that I would, kind of funny, like, I'm going to have a house, I'm going to have kids, and I'm not moving. Well, here I am in Northwest Illinois. So I moved. But my kids, had a pretty stable life in Florida, 13 years for my son and, almost 12 for Juliana. So I promised my family stability. I never knew that success wasn't about money until 2016, where the story shifts a little bit. So in 2016, I had, hit a salary that was ridiculously awesome and blessed. I had a Mercedes, I had the house, I had all of the things that you think success is. I had risen to the occasion. I was so proud. I knew my parents would be proud. But the craziest thing is that inside I was at the lowest I've ever been. And I prayed to be a mom and to be a wife and to not have to work in December of 2016. And I remember praying it with my whole heart. And I never thought that it would happen because you think you have to keep working. You have to push yourself. You have to be all these things, and God listened. And, it took 2.5 years. And what I was sharing with my friend today was God knew what I needed to happen. So I had stepped away from multi-store leadership. And those of you that know me, that was the hardest thing ever. I wasn't a district manager. And I became an associate general manager at Adidas. And I remember walking in proud, but I couldn't still be happy because I wasn't in charge. I wasn't the boss, if you will. So I had to learn how to be more humble. I had to learn it's okay to not be the boss. I think that was the greatest learning for me. And then I was still trying to figure out this whole entire how to be a mom, how to be a better friend, how to be a wife. And it was so hard. And again, God heard my prayer back in December 2016, but he wasn't ready to action it. And I should share this. Kevin and I sat, it was December of 2016, so probably January week 1. And we sat in my kitchen and I said, Kevin, will the government move us somewhere so we can start new so I could be a mom? And he was like, yeah, where do you want to move? So we checked every box in the country for us to move. And I remember sitting there thinking, what happens if we actually move? I was not ready to move, but God was like, no, you'll move when I'm ready. And so fast forward at Adidas, I had some great learnings there. And for those of you that lived it with me, I had to learn how to be comfortable within my own skin. I had to be comfortable not being the boss. I had to be humbled by the fact that when we had a district manager visit, I wasn't the district manager. And that was like the hardest. And like, I don't know. I told my friend Brittany I wouldn't cry, and here we are crying. I was like, I'm not going to cry on Facebook, but here I am, and I don't care because somebody else. And Sophia, oh my goodness, Sophia. I'm trying not to read the comments, but Sophia, I just want to thank you personally because she was there. God gave me Sophia. She was with me during that journey at Adidas where I had to really learn how to be, in my new role and pretend every day that I was happy. And I really wasn't for a long time. And then I said, why are you, like, you're so blessed. I actually was chatting with my friend, Tina, and we used to joke, you get paid every other Friday, right? You get paid a beautiful salary and be grateful. And I heard her words, but I never believed them. And then one day I did. I said, you know what, Tina, I'm so blessed to be part of this amazing brand. I make a beautiful salary and I should be so grateful. Okay. And I became grateful. And then I started I always do my hands, but I started to lower the ego. I started to let myself just be happy. And then a year ago, I hit, I don't know why I'm all over the place. I took notes, but of course they're over here. They're not in front of me. At some point, I can't remember what year, but when my mom was living with us, she got very sick. And I actually lost 80 pounds because her doctor told me I would wind up like her, not well, with cardiovascular disease. So I lost 80 pounds on Weight Watchers. Guess what, guys? I found the majority of it because unfortunately, when you do a diet, it becomes a diet, right? And then the food becomes the boss. When you do a lifestyle, it becomes your life. So a year ago, I started a journey for my life and my wellness versus a diet. So I found ketones because my neighbor was drinking ketones. And actually, Sophia, back to my friend Sophia, was doing the keto lifestyle. And she bought the first 10-pack ever from my neighbor. I remember, do you remember, Sophia? You bought the 10-pack. And then I was like watching my neighbor drink this Kool-Aid. And I was like, there's no way I'm drinking your Kool-Aid. Because how can I drink your Kool-Aid? I'm not doing it. I've already done it. Well, guess what? I drank her Kool-Aid. And I'm so thankful for that because today I sit here in the parking lot of my daughter's gym crying my eyes out for all of you because I was given a challenge today to talk from my heart about why I'm here today. Who's Renee, right? You guys see my posts, you guys see me do my crazy stuff, but who am I from the core? So the core Renee is I am a strong woman from New York who've had great parents who love me so much, who validated me so much that I longed for validation from bosses and friends and food and things that are not necessary. I had noise. And then the noise quieted most recently in the past 2 months. And I've been blessed beyond belief. We are so blessed to be here in Northwest Illinois. I am so blessed to be a mom. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. I don't have all the answers. And I'm just so happy. These are happy tears that I have the privilege to be able to inspire and lead and influence, which is exactly why I was in retail for 27 years. It was never for the brand or the discount. It was for the people. And Prove It has done that for me. Prove It gives me the courage and the confidence to do live videos on the internet and cry. And I know someone out there is laughing. And then there's someone else judging. And for the person that's judging me, I love you too, because I know why you're judging me, because I would have judged me. I would have been like, who's this lady crying on Facebook, right? I was telling my friend Brittany, like, or Stacy, I don't remember who today. Like, we don't cry at work, right, guys? Crying is not for work. Crying is for babies, weddings, and funerals. That's how I grew up in retail. You don't cry at work. Well, guess what? I'm crying at work today in the parking lot of my daughter's gym. And I'm crying because I'm so joyful and so proud of the person I've become. And I'm only not even like 1 minute into the actual person that I'm going to be, because she has a huge future in front of her. She's going to work every single day at making my parents proud, her watching from up above. And I'm going to make a difference in this world. And I'm going to influence you, whoever you are watching, to be a better you. It's not about ketones, okay, guys? I don't care if you ever drink my juice. I don't. All I care about is that you get up today and you feel better knowing that there's someone else out there just like you. If your parents are deceased, I'm here for you, okay? It is the most empty feeling in the whole entire world to not have your mom and dad. It is insane. And they both died before they were 60, okay? At 59 years old, my mother went to God. She had lung cancer. She beat it. It's awful. So my point is, on my 60th birthday, it's going to be the most insane birthday. Then 70 and 80. I want to live a huge life on this earth. And all I want to do is be an amazing mother and wife and a friend and an influencer to help other people feel great. And so with that, this is part 1 of my story. Part 2 will come really around the business journey and things I've learned about myself and relationships. And I can't wait to share more. But my essence of tonight's story is, listen, I get up every day knowing that my parents did not see their 60th birthday. And that is my motivation, okay? My motivation for wellness and well-being is because of my mom and dad. And I know every single day that they're with me and they're rooting me on. And I'm going to make them so proud. And it's not about money. And I wish they could come back and I could say this life is not about money, because I've had it. And it was the darkest days of my whole entire life. I had everything you could ask for as a person. And none of it mattered because I was empty inside. And now I'm starting to become full. And I'm so proud of the fight. But it's a fight, right? To get up every day and not go to work. Because then you start to say, well, am I worthy? What am I doing? You know, and stay-at-home moms, if you're out there, I'm giving you like deuces. It is hard. I can't even imagine what y'all do every day. Like, it's crazy. I don't know. First of all, let me go back a step. Working moms, double deuces, because we do stay-at-home mom plus 40 hours, okay? That is a whole level of insanity. But stay-at-home moms, because the difference between a stay-at-home mom and a working mom is I'm going to use the word purpose. It's not right. I'm doing an asterisk. Every woman has purpose. We all have purpose, but you had like a job. Oh, I have to get up. I have to have a purpose today. I have to go to work and I have to do my job. Then you have to be a mom. But when you don't have a job to validate your purpose, it becomes a little more like, what am I doing today? Like, what is my plan for today? Especially if the kids go back to school. So what I'm saying is, now I get to be a stay-at-home mom and run a business. Like, right? And you know how I run my business? I'm sitting in the parking lot right now chatting with you while my kid is in there doing tumbling. And why can she do tumbling? Because I have a little bit of income coming in from my amazing business that I'm just learning how to do. Because I still don't have a clue how to do this business, but I'm trying to figure it out one ketone at a time, right? But my point is, I have a purpose. And my purpose is to share my conversation with each and every one of you and share my story. And whether you join me in my journey with ketones, maybe you find your own journey, maybe your calling is skincare or lipstick. My friend Carrie, I'm wearing your lipstick, girl. So I bought lipstick from my friend who sells lipstick, right? We all support each other. We're all boss babes. And whatever your passion is, whatever your fight is, whatever it is you're meant to do in this world, go do it. And be badass at it and have the courage to be uncomfortable. So I love you guys. I appreciate your time. I hope this added value to someone. I know I feel like a weight has been lifted, and I can't wait to continue to share my story with you guys living out loud. So have a blessed night, and I look forward to chatting with you guys soon. Love you.